Hello, everyone. We are live now.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you? Yeah, good afternoon. How are you? Can you hear me?
Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. We are so happy to have you here with us. We want to greet you on this amazing and auspicious day on International Education Day. As you all know, we have so many esteemed speakers with us today. We'll be talking about something that is so close to our heart, but most importantly, so close to what humanity is. We know that education is the pillar that protects and promotes human rights. That is the essence of who we are, and that is what education does. I want to start by inviting our vice principal at James International School, the host of this amazing international conference. Please, 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚, ma'am, the podium is yours.
Good morning, good evening, and welcome to this spectacular conference. I feel honored to be amongst so many talented and highly accomplished and learned educators. So on the onset, I would like to congratulate all of you for choosing to make the difference in human lives. And I'm sure we are all making that difference in our own way. And I'm really proud to be a part of James International School, which definitely has a plethora of contributions in the form of our Director of Foreign Affairs, Irmina ma'am. So I acknowledge her commitment to providing education in a rural setup in India. And we are really honored and humbled to have her existence with us day in, day out. Thank you, Irmina ma'am. Another person that I would definitely want to talk about is our host, Dr. Virginia Rivera, who has been very magnanimous in her contributions to the school and providing us inputs and support always. So thank you, ma'am. I think gratefulness is the beginning of learning always, and that is why I chose to start with a message of our gratitude, not just from my side, but I think the entire team of James International School, the students, the parents, and all the other partners that we have who are helping us make a difference in the lives of students. Welcome to this conference once again. And it's very ironical that, this year's theme is dedicated to the girl child in Afghanistan who are not being able to get their education easily. And coincidentally, it is also the International Day of the Girl Child. So how befitting it is that the theme for this year matches that International Day. And education is a human right. It is something that every individual is, I think, bound to get. But sometimes along the way, we, associate education only with degrees or, qualifications or other pursuits that we do academically. Personally, I feel education is not just degrees and academic accomplishments. I think if at the end of the day, we are able to translate a person's life by, I take the example of, even if we are able to inculcate the habit of greeting, each other in the morning in whoever we meet, I think we have done our part as an educator. So education is not just getting degrees, but I think it is how we relate to one another, because that is how we survive. And just this morning, Irmina ma'am was very, full of life. It is very, very cold where we are right now. And it's freezing cold, and we have very little numbers coming back from the winter vacation. So we, each morning, we appreciate the students who brave the cold and come in. And she very rightly said that, education is being kind, showing compassion, showing empathy to each and every individual that you see around us. So for me and for her, I think, and I think everybody else, it is telling or inculcating the habit of being human above all, so that we can help each other grow, learn. And education in itself means unlearning things, relearning, and learning new things. And I think I take this opportunity to say that over this 6 months that I've spent here being on campus, I've learned a lot about my own country as well. I come from a different part of my country, but still there are so many beautiful things that we have learned. So that is also education. And I feel that everyday life is part of education. And that's what we all stand for. And if we can make that little difference in even one individual's life, it goes a long way. So let's contribute to life around us. They say educators are the designers, the creators, of all other professions. So I am proud to be an educator, and I hope to add more light as I go along the way. And I hope that everyone else who's doing such a fabulous job across the globe continues to be that light in someone's life. We never know how an educator can impact a student's life. So it could be just asking or just noticing that sad face and asking that child, or telling a child, wow, that's amazing, even when that child might be at the bottom of the day for that child. It just might brighten someone else's life. I urge all of you to continue all the great work. And I know that I'm amongst many, many talented and super accomplished people. So I feel humbled to be a part of this conference. And I congratulate all of you for carrying that beacon of hope for generations to come and creating a better world. I think that's all we are looking at post-COVID especially. We all want to stay connected. We want to learn from each other. And in fact, one new project that we have started this year for starting January 2024, is come up with a small library for our students. And Irmina ma'am has, tirelessly worked to bring books, to bring people across the globe. And we would request all of you also to contribute, because that's how we are giving them a new light. They are in a community which has not seen much around. So all those little inputs that we do help them, even if it is half an hour, face-to-face Zoom connect, helps those kids. And you should actually see them, those bright smiles that rest on their faces once we are done with those small exposures, because it opens the world for them. And for me, that is education. So I won't take any more time. I know there are a lot more people. I want to listen to what everybody else has to say. So thank you for being a part of this. And let's continue to change lives, make a difference in the lives of people, and make the world a much more beautiful place. Thank you so much. And all the very best to each and every one of you. And may this year bring lots of great things for all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. And thank you, Irmina ma'am, for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This is our incredible vice principal. We're so happy to have you with us, and always leading by example. I also would like to introduce, and I don't think she's not on the rundown, but I'm going to put her on the rundown. I would like 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚, our incredible Director of Foreign Affairs at James International. She's more than a Director of Foreign Affairs. She is actually the heart of everything that happens. She is that connector. And I think that is exactly what we need many times, is that bridge builder, the person that brings everybody together. And that is who she is. We're going to be launching today our core team of foreign affairs, and I would love for her to be the person to introduce. Irmina, the podium is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my dear Virginia. Virginia knows very well that I love to work, but I don't like to talk too much.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Yes. Good evening to all of you. Thank you, because you are all present today. And what can I say about James International School? It's an inclusive school, a school where education from all continents, it's intertwined in a global curriculum. For me as European, it is a real blessing to be here in a village with a team of special teachers, staff, and our vice principal, Andrew Sabarval. And not at lastly, I want to thank to the chairman of James International School, Mr. Piyush Pandit, for the trust, all the trust given. James International School is a global school, a different school, a sustainable school, where we develop SDG projects. We prepare these wonderful children to be citizen model. Every month here we have guests from all countries of the world. Our students are thirsty to learn, and they have this opportunity to learn about the tradition and the history of other continents, other countries. And as I say so many times, Virginia was here, and all the staff, all the kids, all the teachers love Virginia. They ask every day, what she do, when she come? And they learn, and she was every day in class with them. She interact with them. And all the kids know to say hola, gracias, and know how looks the flag of Puerto Rico. And this means love. This means love for education. We are not perfect, but when we have a heart, when we want to be near to them, they feel and they accept us and they love us. The Department of Foreign Affairs has from today a core team made up of global leaders, which will promote GIS values, which will initiate projects in which we will also invite you, because you are all part of Jamesian League. And our first project will be, like Anju said, will be for the development of the library, GIS library, because James International School is a school that has no fees. It's a school from children from different backgrounds. And I can say that I am falling in love with these beautiful children, that I am a blessed person having their love and seeing their happiness when they salute me in morning. I thank the team of teachers for the simplicity of their souls, for teaching me Hindi, because they want to learn me then tradition. They talk with me and they want to learn me to cook. It's a great journey, a great experience. And this is the richness of the life. This is a thing that makes me happy as a human being. I think also I want to thanks to all of you, to thanks to the people from the chat live, because today, in this important day, you are here with us. Being a teacher is an art. A real teacher are the ones who manage to make you do it, you love, to love the discipline. Education is not means that the information that you give, that the information from the notebook or from the book. We have a curriculum, but that is just a structure. The real curriculum is just a root, is in our heart. We must feel what we do. We must share love in what we do. We have the difficult mission, but also a beautiful one. The formation of autonomous personalities that can integrate in society with critical and creative thinking abilities, with a moral profile, what you're following, and with a high professionalism. The teacher also put a part of his soul in the service of the one he instructs and educates. The students are the ones who give meaning to our teaching profession. They motivate us. They make us to go, even like say Andrew Sabarval, maybe today is cold, maybe today is raining, but we go there because we love our profession. Many ask me why I choose the profession of teacher. I don't think that is a job. I don't think like this. And I think that is nothing beautiful that the poor and simple love that we receive by the children. Thank you for the moment that you give me today. And let's say like this, we remember all our first teacher. We will never remember all the theory, all the knowledge that we assimilate in the school. But how many of us do not remember the face of the first teacher? Try this, a memory exercise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amina, for your words. I knew that they were going to be powerful and beautiful. Thank you so much. Everything that we do at James International School comes from the heart. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I have to say, again, my name is Virginia Rivera, and I do come from a small little island in the Caribbean called Puerto Rico, part of the United States of America. And I had the great opportunity in April to go to India for the first time. And for the first time, I was really captured by and captivated by a young man that was giving his speech on what education meant to him and how he wanted to make education accessible to all. I have to tell you that when I heard this, I resonated because I felt the same way. And I think that every single one of you would probably be the same. Mr. 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪 was talking about breaking all barriers and really making education accessible to everyone, including those that are in the most remote areas in the world. And I have to tell you that village is pretty remote. It is an absolute little piece of heaven, but it's definitely remote. And the fact that James International School is a beacon is really amazing because it has become the center of this village. It is part of the Metro E-Village, which is an incredible concept that Mr. 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪 has also come up with, where we have Wi-Fi, we have electricity, we are having a lot of things that we want to bring to everybody. If other people in the world have it, we want to make sure that every single village in remote areas also has it. So this is the first of many. And James International School is a laboratory. It's really an education lab. It's where we will marry all these curriculums, and foreign affairs will take care of it and really see what works and what doesn't work. So launching this core foreign affairs team is very, very important. Not all schools have it, but this school does. So I would like to introduce the people that we have here present today. And we have our Professor Charles, who is here. I'm going to start with you. He's also one of our esteemed IIU core team members, and he's our chancellor. So welcome, Professor Charles. We can't hear you.
And now he's back. He was out.
Okay, okay. So Professor Charles, the virtual podium is yours. Do you see it?
Professor Charles?
If not, then we'll move with 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪 from Brazil, and then we'll go back to Professor Charles. Mr. 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪, are you there? Let's unmute you and welcome.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm going to share a PowerPoint.
Let's see.
Okay, so first of all, I would like to say my thanks to Doctors Hermina Raescu, Virginia Rivera, and for the organizers. And I am very honored to be here. And today, in this International Day of Education, I would like to talk about education. Well,
and forgive me that I interrupt you, Sir 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪. We are honored to have you in the core team of Foreign Affairs. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased and honored. And as I said before, on the International Day of Education, it is essential to emphasize the pivotal role that learning plays in fostering lasting peace. Education is a powerful tool that not only equips individuals with knowledge and skills, but also promotes understanding, tolerance, and empathy among diverse communities. And here are some key points that could be highlighted on this occasion, on this special occasion. Well, education as a foundation for peace, and that's what the world needs. Education serves for a foundation for building lasting peace by addressing the root causes of conflict, such as ignorance, prejudice, and inequality. When people are educated, they are better equipped to understand the complexities of global issues and work towards peaceful solutions. Also, another issue very important is promoting tolerance and diversity. Inclusive and quality education encourages a sense of tolerance and appreciation for diversity by fostering an understanding of different cultures, religions, and perspectives. Education helps break down stereotypes and prejudices that can contribute to conflict. Also, addressing inequality through education. Education is a powerful tool for addressing social and economic inequalities, which are often at the root of conflicts, ensuring access to quality education for all, regardless of gender, socioeconomic status, or other factors, contributes for creating a more just and equitable society. And for my final words, we have to always focus continuous learning for sustainable peace. Education is a lifelong process, and promoting continuous learning for people of all ages is essential for sustaining peace. Encouraging a culture of learning and curiosity contributes to adaptable and resilient societies capable of addressing emerging challenges. Well, the time is short, but I would like to thank for the kind invitation. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing that information, because it just opens it all up and it makes it so much clearer. So thank you for sharing such an amazing presentation and for being part of our Foreign Affairs core team. We have so much work ahead of us, so welcome, welcome. We need all that amazing energy. Now I would like to introduce our Sir Charles, our Professor, Sir Charles. Please join us.
Thank you very much, my Excellency.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure meeting every one of us. Today is very unique. Today, we are celebrating International Education Day, initiated by UNESCO in 2018. The 2024 theme is Learning for Lasting Peace. And we appreciate James International School for this great opportunity. As we all know, that James International School is an educational school that has dynamic, fabulous learning environments in preparation to face the new world order through innovative and experiential learning. And in the school, we are all paving pathways for a well-rounded development of students to meet the challenges of tomorrow. As we all know, the mission is to provide all students with quality education, focus on their training needs so that the young people of tomorrow can adapt to the professional requirement of the society. Kudos to the founder of the great school is driven by his deep conviction that no child should be deprived of education and skills. He then embarked on a journey we are all seeing today to make a positive impact in the society with a focus on youth development, educational empowerment, women empowerment, skills development, research, innovation, to mention but few. As usual, education is a transformative tool for creating a better world by making a positive impact on the society and strive for excellency in all endeavor. Kudos to our noble, amiable, dynamic, visionary advocate, Sir 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚. It is worth knowing that education is a right, not a privilege. In the great day, we invite speakers from different fields and an NGO working for the promotion of education. We learn about education in other parts of the world. Education develops critical thinking. This is very important in teaching a person how to use logic when making decisions and interacting with people. Education helps an individual meet basic job qualification and make them more likely to secure better job. This day celebration broadens student horizons and afford opportunity for them to learn more about their contemporaries, culture, food, languages, which form a greater understanding of their place in the widening community. As usual, we learn something every day if we pay attention. And if we think education is expensive, let us then try ignorance. Let's live as if we were to die tomorrow, and we should learn as if we are to live forever. Thanks God for our dear late brother, Mahatma Gandhi of the blessed memory. Education is one thing no one can take from us. Give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you will feed him for a lifetime. Today, the world is facing many conflicts, discrimination, and hate speech. Let's always work hard with passion, commitment, dedication, and living a peaceful life so that we can succeed and have a better future. This is what education can give us. As we know, education is a great engine of personal development. We should always empower, support ourselves as educationists, teachers, so as to create inclusive, democratic, and respectful community, advancing peace with success in education for all. It will interest us also to know that education plays a transformative role in shaping peaceful future. So let us embrace it at the maximum. I appreciate everyone for listening. I pray that God will come to expand our knowledge, give us all the things we need for us to come to work stronger. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Professor Charles. As always, you always inspire us so much with your words. Thank you. Now I would like to introduce another one of our core members, Dr. Elizabeth Islas. The podium is yours. She's here. Is she here?
Hi,
Dr.
can you hear me
Elizabeth,
now?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Thank you. Good evening. Can I
Welcome.
share, please? Thank you. Good evening. Well, I am very happy to enjoy with us and to share and learn about all our friends. We are very happy today with this celebration about the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And well, I would like to talk now about the important woman in the science. I was talking, I was checking, I was remember some great woman, as in this case, as Ada Lovelace. She was a mathematician, yes. And if we remember, she looked is regarded as the first computer programmer. This is very great because we know a lot of EA and anybody talk about her. And when I was checking all this and how know that she is considered the first computer algorithm in as woman, this is great for us, and I'm very happy to know about this. Another thing, I know that I am living in India, as you know. I was checking about Hanaki Amal. She was a botanist, and she was the first female plant scientist. And this is great because I remember that some weeks ago, we were in some conference about this topic. In this case, she also was advocate for protecting the biodiversity of India. It's amazing how here in India, all the people is very careful about the biodiversity and how a woman start with all this. This is amazing. Now we have another great woman. She was Katherine Johnson. She was a mathematician too, and she was checking about and in fact, she was a NASA employer, and I like so much participate in a lot of conference because I have the opportunity to learn more and can share with all of you. And in this case, she became famous when her history was profiled in the movie Hidden Figures. I don't know if somebody can watch this movie. It is very recommended for you, and you can check, and it's very, very interesting. Two, we have to Rosalind Franklin. She was a chemist, and she is known for the revolutionary work in discovering the double helix structure of DNA. And in fact, she was in the Nobel Prize in 1962. And I don't know if we can talk more about this or a lot of more wonderful women than we have in the history. But I think that this is very, very important. But another very important thing that we have to talk is when we start to celebrate the International Day of Women in Science. Unfortunately, this started on 2015. Well, I think that this have to be before, a lot of years before, but now we can this opportunity to celebrate and remember all these wonderful women and enjoy all these persons that are helping to the world. And but after this, I have, for finish my presentation very fast, I have a question. Are you really helping to the woman to be stronger? Yeah, because I think that we need be very, very real. We need to have a very real situation about what happened with a woman with this close to us. Yes, in our work, with our family, and our wife or sister. Anyway, we are really helping to her. I think that this is very important because we can see in a lot of cases how if some women are working together, something bad things happen all the time, a lot of problems. And I think that is a good moment for start to help us to start to be stronger hand by hand, all the women, and of course with all the men that are around us. And I think that with this we can to have a best work. And well, that's all. Thank you very much. I hope that you want to remember this woman and we can do more and more great women. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing alive today, that today is also the day of the girl child. So really talking about women in education and their contribution is so on point to start off this great conference. So thank you again, Dr. 𝙂𝙪𝙚. I would like to, I have a video now for one of our core members, 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚 and Ermina, if you could please go ahead and share that video. And can Dr. 𝙂𝙪𝙚, can you stop your sharing? There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Ermina, okay.
Hello, good morning, good evening, everyone. Greetings from Poland. Nice to see you. Nice to hear you. Yeah, it's very important day today. First of all, I want to thank you for the invitation. I don't have much time, so I will be brief. We celebrate World Education Day, but it's not just one day. This is every day of our work. Education is every country is most important part of life. We learn every day, and the knowledge we acquire means future success. Let us remember to show our students the path to success, to show them the knowledge they need. Let's match the contents and skills to their capabilities and needs. Let's help them become better people. In the future, their success will be our success, and their achievements will give us a better, more joyful life. Every day I work with students with special education needs and those without such needs. I know that each of my students is unique, and each of their smallest success is a drop in the sea of possibilities. This sea must be made of something. So every day I add more drops. Please help me. Help me, and let's build an ocean. I'm waiting for you and your students. All the best, and see you on the boat, on the sea, on the ocean together. Thank you very much. See you. Greetings. Bye.
Wonderful video from Marius. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He's also part of our amazing
And Virginia,
foreign affairs. Yes.
Sorry. I think this is the performance. He work in the school with children with disabilities. This is the real performance. When you see every step, every drop daily, every step that they make, this is a performance for a real teacher.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. He's a great example. I would also like to bring forward another part of our team, Jorge Isaac Torres from Manrique. Jorge, are you here? Yes.
Good morning, Doctor. Yes, thanks. Dear teachers and friends, I would like to greet you. It's Jorge Isaac Torres Manrique from Peru. First of all, very honored and grateful to the James International School, Piash Grab, and the doctors Mina Rescu and Virginia Rivera. In this opportunity, International Day of Education, I have some brief reflections on the teaching of law and fundamental rights in the light of digital natives and digital immigrants. Both law, teaching, and legal education need to accommodate to the current reality, but not only to accommodate to the new times, but because from train and especially and in legal matters, this obligation becomes imperative. The convenience of teaching not only to transmitting information and knowledge, but also fundamentally to awaken interest, motivate, inspire, and above all, to ensure that this intervention is successful for the decoding on the part of its students. In short, teaching must ensure that students are able to grasp, understand, and act accordingly. In this order of intelligence, digital immigrants have to teach digital natives according to the ratio of digital natives. About the Fundamental Rights Committee, in this section, it's worldwide to address the omnipresent of fundamental rights. That is to specific the fundamental rights involved. In this case of digital natives, not providing them with an education in accordance with their nature would violate their fundamental rights. do receive an education in accordance with their nature as digital natives, to have access to appropriate education in accordance with their nature as digital natives, to equality by not being treated as unequal due to their status as such, to communication, to socialization, to the free development of their personality. Like conclusions, we have digital immigrants are obligated to teach digital natives in accordance with their nature. To this commitment, we must add the safeguarding of the quintessence of teaching and education. However, it's worth mentioning that its issue also embraces the present of the fundamental rights refer. Finally, like suggestions, we have implementation of public policies. I mean, as training teachers, digital immigrants, in the subject related to the current conception of digital natives, raise awareness among teachers about the quintessence of teaching and education. Then to train all the actors of the education systems on fundamental rights, constitutional law, its in relation to education and legal education. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Jorge, because the truth is that we want education accessible to all. And the fact that you're pointing out, right, indigenous society, and that their rights are being violated, I really appreciate that so much. So again, another core, very important topic, and I'm really glad that we're starting with this now in our core team. I would like to introduce to you now 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚. I know she's here. I saw her.
Yeah, I'm
Welcome.
here. Greetings
Welcome.
from Turkey to all of you, dear friends. Happy Education Day. Yes, it's a pleasure for me to represent my country in this platform. And now I want to talk about the International Day of Education observed in January the 24th. This year is being devoted by UNESCO to the critical role that education and educators play in combating hate speech, a problem that has become more widespread in recent years due to the use of social media and is destroying the fabric of our societies. The world is witnessing a startling increase in prejudice, racism, xenophobia, and hate speech coinciding with a rise in violent conflicts. The effects of this violence cut across all boundaries: geographical, gendered, racial, religious, political, and offline, online. Today, more than ever, there is a pressing need to actively pursue the peace. The UNESCO recommendation on education for peace, human rights, and sustainable development emphasizes the importance of education in this effort. In order to equip students with the knowledge, values, attitudes, abilities, and behaviors needed to become peace agents in their communities, education for peace must be transformative. Words that spread ignorance, incite fear, divide people, and practice discrimination are the first step toward hatred. Words that can even come before the worst crimes. These words constitute an existential threat to democracy, peace, and human rights when they are left unchecked. That is when the hate speech that is xenophobic, racist, anti-Semitic, and gender-based is permitted so to spread. With the rise of social media in recent years, hate speech and online lies have gained traction. With the rise of social media in recent years, hate speech and online lies have gained traction. According to a survey done in 16 countries last year, 67% of internet users had come across hate speech online. Concerns regarding the effects and influence of disinformation on fellow citizenship were voiced about 85% of respondents. In the face of false information and hate speech, we are not helpless. Education is necessary to combat hatred at its source, foster critical thinking, and strengthen the mental defense of peace in both men and women. This year's International Day of Education is devoted to discussing the critical role that education plays in fostering enduring peace, as well as the ways that education needs to change the meat of challenges in the modern world. Since education is the first step toward peace, hatred stems from words. The things we thus discover alter our worldview and have an impact on how we interact with others. Thus, the cornerstone of our efforts to establish and uphold global peace must be education. On this way, as educators, our dedication to upholding everyone's right to a high-quality education that respects their inherent human rights entails a commitment to a world at peace in which everyone can live in dignity and with respect of one and another. This is my speech. I want to talk about another issue on education.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate that you brought this and totally talking about peace and how it starts with education.
Yes.
I think, and you know what, you're so right. If everybody had access to education, we would understand the concepts and we would really think about where we're putting our vote and where we're putting our trust. And I think things would be completely different, starting with wars that we have today and finishing with the lack of access to a lot of things to our people. So thank you so much for bringing this to our
Thank
attention.
you. Can I add one more
Yes.
word for
Yes.
my speech?
Yes.
I sometimes wish I had a magical stick in my hand to stop wars and give all people peace, but unfortunately it is just in fairy tales. But I think as teachers we have this power. In fact, we have this fairy stick in our hands, how we can interact each other, and we can implement international online projects and teach our students to live in harmony with other cultures. For that reason, I dedicate myself running international projects. Thanks to technology, now we are all together wherever we live, and we can do it together. We can teach our students to respect other cultures, to respect other people living on the world. And I think in our future generations will maybe live in peace for these reasons. I believe it.
I agree. I also wish that I had that magical wand.
I
right,
wish.
but, yeah, but we definitely have to do the work. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. And hello, greetings to Turkey. So now we're going to receive 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚 from Peru. He's also part of our amazing Foreign Affairs core team.
Wow. Great moment to celebrate the International Day of Education. A big hug to all of you. Everything is perfect. What can we say about education? Let me start by saying that education is an important issue in a person's life. It is the key to success in the future and to have many opportunities in our life. Education has many advantages for people. For instance, it illuminates a person's mind and thinking. It helps students to plan for work or pursue higher education while graduating from university. Having education in an area helps people think, feel, and behave in a way that contributes to their success and improves not only their personal satisfaction, but also their community. In addition, education develops human personality, thoughts, dealing with others, and prepares people for life experiences. It makes people have a special status in their own society and everywhere they live in. I believe that everyone is entitled to have education. Why? Because from cradle to grave, this is a good expression, from cradle to grave, there are various benefits of having education, such as having a good career, having a good status in society, and having self-confidence. First of all, education gives us the chance of having a good career in our life. We can have plenty of chances to work at any workplace we wish. In other words, opportunities for a better employment can be more and easy. The highly educated we are, the better chance we get. Moreover, education polishes our mind, reinforces our thoughts, and strengthens our character and behaviors towards others. It equips us with information and behaviors toward others. It equips us with information in various fields in general, and our specialization in particular, especially what we need to master in our job career. Therefore, without education, we may not survive properly nor have a decent profession. Furthermore, education grants us a good status in society. As educated people, we are considered as a valuable source of knowledge for our society. Having education helps us teach others morals, manners, and ethics in our society. For this reason, people deal with us in a considerable and special way for being productive and resourceful. In addition, education makes us a role model in society when our people need us to guide them to the right way or when they want to take a decision. Thus, it is an honor for us to serve our community and contribute towards its advancements. In fact, being educated is an advantage to help our people and build a good society. Let me finish with a highly important quote that was said by Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. So what are we waiting for? Let's start right away. Greetings from Peru.
Thank you
Wow,
so much. I love
wonderful.
your energy. Yes.
Wonderful.
Beautiful.
Wonderful, my friend. Wonderful.
You know, as I was listening to you, and so right, and you're so right, Professor Ruben Garcia from Peru. The most important thing here now is making sure that everybody has access to education. You see, we can all dream and we can all say that education is going to help us get great careers and a great life. But if we don't make sure that everybody has access, then we're really not helping everybody. So I would like to invite you all as president of World Education Policy to really join who we are, because we want to eradicate barriers for everybody. There are more than 268 million people, these are children, without access to education. For in order to us to really enjoy the benefits of education, we need to make sure that everybody has access to education. So I think that today's a great day to really talk about having access to education, especially when we talk about today being the Girl Child Day. Of those 268 million, almost 180 million are girls that have no access to education. So today, let's make a difference. Today, let's say, I'm going to join World Education Policy. I'm going to be part of that in my town, in my country. We need people to take action, not comfortably sitting in their desk. We need you to go out and get kids and tell them to come in and study, and probably go to your government and say, I'm advocating so that every child has access to a quality education. That is when, Ruben, your dream will be my dream. Then, when we're all in the same level playing field, education will help us get the career that will help us become the people that we want to be. But we need to make sure that everyone has access to education. So thank you again for that. And now we're going to start today with all of our incredible global speakers. We have 5 minutes. At the 3-minute point, I will interrupt and say, you have 1 minute. So you can start wrapping up. This is very important and critical that each one of us has a chance and opportunity to speak today. Today is an auspicious day. Today is a very important day. Today is a day that starts a life and a world that we all want to live in. And you are the protagonists. Teachers are the people that have future in their hands. So I'm going to start with Dr. Deprecia. Okay, let me get your name correctly because I don't want to. Okay, 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚 from Albania. She is an incredible professor. She's a great speaker. I've shared with her so many times, and I love your name. It's just hard for me to say it. So welcome.
Okay,
The floor
thank you
is
so
yours.
much, Virginia. And I mean, because to tell you the truth, you've been one of the most amazing people I've met for the first time. So thank you so much. But also, I'd like to thank Ermina, who never ever finds out it is day or night or midnight, and to reply to all the questions that we have. So thank you so much. Special thank you goes to the whole team of James International School, who bring up these brilliant conferences on developing education in all the countries. Because as Ruben Garcia just recently said, but also Anu Sabawal said that without education, there is no progress in our countries as well. So I'm going to talk about, I mean, just to discuss a little bit about education is not the learning of facts, it's rather the training of the mind to think, like what Albert Einstein has said. So, and this is the theme of the conference. And I mean, before, in the 20th century, in the core of the educational system, it was a kind of teacher-oriented teaching rather than student-oriented teaching, whereas today we are having quite a different panorama of the educational system. So how do we make our classrooms place where true intellectual growth can operate and can work properly? So what we should do is that we should intermingle now the classroom environment with the teaching methods that we use in our teaching process. We should model our thinking as we demonstrate the concept rather than cramming the minds of the little kids or the students or other people with a lot of theory or a lot of knowledge. So critical thinking skills shine through the context of the subject matter on which we are going to talk and to discuss with our students. But this should be given through practice and should be given through experiences. So we personally, we learn through experience and we draw lessons from the experience. So children should be oriented towards practicing and towards doing some practical work in class or outside the class, in the field yard, in order to encourage them to illustrate, to dramatize, to understand stuff. So we should make our students elevate and critique their work. So they should become self-evaluators of their work in order for them to understand what they are going to do and what they are doing. So we should encourage our students to analyze the quality of the work that they are doing and also to examine the character traits and make connections between them, because without making the connection between the past, the present, and the future, I mean, we cannot go forward. So we should help, I mean, the students to see there can be many sides and many ways, and not to ask the students to come into our mind and to explore what is in our mind. So what is brain trainings? Because this is connected with the brain training in order for them to develop critical thinking. So it is called otherwise in methodology, as a methodologist teacher that I am, it is called cognitive training or mind training. So we all as educators, we should train our students' minds, be young or old students in our classes, in order for them to become better at reasoning, at problem solving, identifying the problem, knowing how to analyze the problem, how to learn, as well as increasing the memory capacity of their brain. So this is very important for us educators, because our brain and our students' brain can generate greater creativity and resilience, which is very important nowadays in the whole world, to prepare humans, like to use one of the words that 𝙂𝙪𝙚 just said, that we are humans, we are educators, and we have to prepare humans to learn, to relearn, and to practice learning during all the time. So we are teachers, but still we are learners at the same time. So critical thinking versus criticism, designed to shut down any conversation. It is incredibly important in any kind of educational levels in our educational system in our countries. So students should leave college with the tools to consider multiple perspectives, to analyze complex information, to discern underlying components of what they are discussing about, of any kind of problems that they discuss, and so on. So understanding, evaluating, and determining the credibility of a source in our misinformation age helps distinguish reliable from deliberately skewed information. So this is for us as teachers to make our learners get to the right sources for them to understand what's going around them. So
one minute.
Yeah. So just I'm wrapping up. So training the brains of our students through exercising, through practice, we are going to learn, to make them learn from the practice, from the real life, and then become deserved human beings and divine human beings for this society. Thank you so much. You are on mute.
Thank you. I really enjoyed your presentation. I think you said something that is so important. You started with this. Let's educate the mind. I think so many times we want our children to memorize things, and they're not really understanding what they're learning. They're just memorizing, and that does not help them. And the fact that we are really training and educating the mind is really the key to a powerful education that will help them throughout their entire life. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant as usual. Brilliant as usual. So now we have Buba Demba from Gambia. Are you here? I saw you. Okay. Then I will, no? Okay. So then I will go now.
He lost the connection.
Okay, that's okay. We'll wait for him to come back. Okay, so now we'll invite Layal Gadar. She's an incredible teacher, an incredible woman, and an advocate for education. So the podium is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Virginia, for your amazing introduction. Thank you a lot. I'm so delighted to be always with you in all the conferences, and this is the most amazing conference that I was excited to share with you all today. So I would like to start my speech today with a quote that really inspired me. Unlocking the doors of potential education is the master key that empowers young minds to dream big, think critically, and shape a future of boundless possibilities. So this quote implies education acts as a master key that opens door for kids and young people, all people even, from all ages, to a world of opportunities. It is a journey that fosters the exploration of dreams and the development of critical thinking skills, not just about acquiring knowledge. Education is the starting point for kids to find their passions, develop their creativity, and acquire values that will help them along with their individual journeys. As young people grow into adults, education serves as a guide through a world of possibilities. It gives them the tools to achieve their goals and develops resilience and flexibility in the face of difficulties. Beyond personal development, education has an enormous impact on a generation that can affect positive change. A youth with an education is, in the bigger picture of things, an inspiration for innovation, progress, and harmony in society. This master key helps create a more equal and welcoming world in addition to opening doors for individual success. It gives young minds the ability to actively contribute to shaping of a better future in addition to helping them to imagine it. An educated young person is a colorful thread creating the fabric of progress in the larger picture of society. It encourages creativity, fosters empathy for others, which is very important, and promotes a sense of a duty to make an important difference to the world. This master key creates a future in which the potential for the greatness knows no limits, not only by opening doors to individual success, but also by opening websites to collective innovations. Education is the theme that integrates children's and youth's dreams in symphony of life, producing a powerful combination of self-determination, wisdom, and limitless possibilities. So finally, I would like to end my speech with one word: education is life. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bravo, bravo. I love it. And you know what? Like you said, it's the key to innovation. Innovation is what makes our world go round. It's what makes our world move. So
Exactly.
we always forget that education really opens up the creativity to really make our life so much better. So thank you. Thank you again. You're always so on point. Thank you. I would like to call then Buba. I think Buba Demba is now here from Gambia, I think. Yes, I saw. No? I think he's actually having, I think he's probably having issues with his internet. So I will go ahead and call the next person, and maybe if he can join us later, we will do that. Our next person is, let's see, Dr. Anita. Dr. Anita, you here? From the US? Okay. Dr. Ambassador Omotola Sobowale.
Yes, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Welcome.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. I want to seize this opportunity to say a very big thank you to everyone, and most especially my dear respected Dr. Emilia. She's been a woman all the way. Okay. Thank God for this conference and the webinar as well, talking about International Girl, Child, and Women on education, peace or peace education. First of all the speakers that spoke, they were talking about education. Gone are those days where education is a privilege and not right. But thank God for the human rights activists that fought for education, and education is now a right. education has gone beyond the four corners of a classroom. It's not necessary for everyone to be in school. You can be at home, you can be anywhere, and you receive your education, depending on how you want to receive it. Now, talking about peace, what do we understand by peace? First of all, I want us to ask ourselves this question. As an educator, do I have the educational peace that will be used to impact my learners? That's the question. Because as educators, if we do not have peace, we cannot invite peace to our learners. And we can develop this peace into three categories. That is the spiritual peace, the relational peace, and the emotional peace. You have the spiritual peace, that is peace with God, and the relational peace, peace with others, and the emotional peace, that is the ability to have peace within ourselves. We are just humans. Majority of us, we do not have peace. And as we do not have peace, how do we want to tell our learners to have peace? So I want to talk about peace education. That's where I want to focus my own speech on education, but I want to dive into peace education. When we talk about peace education, it actually means the process of having the right attributes, qualities of what? Of creating harmony, not allowing violence to happen within the learners. We can create peace among our learners if our classroom is welcoming. Majority of educators, when you go into the class, their classroom is not welcoming at all. And invariably, you will see learners doing all sorts of things by fighting one another. And as a teacher, how do you want to cope that? Because you as a teacher, you are not organized, you did not imbibe peace. So as educators as well, remember we are leaders and role models. Anything we want this student to do, we ourselves, we have to practice it. We have to do it. It is when we do it that our learners will be able to do it as well. Because as we heard, people are no longer reading books. It is we that they are what? They are reading. And peace is very essential in all settings, not only in education. If we don't have peace within ourselves, we cannot relate. We cannot live in harmony with one another. So invariably, peace education is the path we take for bringing growth and prosperity to the society. Thank you. Jesus.
Virginia, your microphone.
Okay, sorry, I coughed. So since I'm coughing, I have to turn it off. I apologize. So definitely peace. If we want to see a change in the world, it starts with us. We need to model what we want our students to do. So I totally agree. It starts with peace, not only at home, but also in the classroom. Thank you again. I would like to now call, it's Professor Dr. KMA CPA 𝙂𝙪𝙚 𝙎𝙥𝙚.
Hello, everyone.
Welcome.
Wishing you all a very happy World Education Day. I feel super excited to address the GEMS International School, and I wish to express my profound gratitude to its leadership and its organizing team and the host, Madam Virginia. I also wish to express my thanks to the fellow speakers for their very touching speech. They have generously shared their ideas, thoughts, setting up the stage. I'm particularly touched by Irina's talk, and I wish to also quote what 𝙂𝙪𝙚 mentioned. The world is seeing a very surge of violent conflicts, paralleled by an alarming rise of racism, xenophobia, hate speech. The impact of this violence transcends any boundary based on geography, gender, race, religion, politics, offline and online. An active commitment to peace is more urgent today than ever before. Education is central to this endeavor and underlined by the UNESCO recommendation on education for peace and human rights besides sustainable development. Learning for peace must be transformative and help to empower the learners with the necessary knowledge, values, attitudes, skills, behavior to become agents of peace. Now let's pause for a while and relook at each word again. Knowledge, values, attitudes, behavior, agents of peace. Let's ask ourselves, what is the root source of peace? What is the root source of knowledge? Yes, education is provided by the schools, they set up the curriculum, the teachers do the utmost well, everybody has to play its role, but the true knowledge comes from God Almighty. And that should never be sidelined, that should never be kept aside, that should never be forgotten. The true source of knowledge is God Almighty. We all know there have been hundreds of people who didn't have a single penny in their pocket, but they built an empire without going to school, without going to any university. Why? Because they were guided. They were being guided by the inner self. They were being guided by the light of God. No matter which community you belong, whether you are a Christian, a Muslim, a Hindu, we all believe that God is the source of knowledge and that should never be forgotten. Peace, the real source of peace is God Almighty. In Quran it is said that Allah is the light, Allah is peace, Allah is the source of peace. We all must understand this, and if we do understand
One
that,
more minute.
and if
One more minute.
we all
One more minute.
practice it, then we will always be on the right path. We will never go astray. We will never be violent. We will never think issues which is against the morality of ourselves or of the people. I thank you once again for giving me the opportunity. Thank you all. God bless you all. Thanks.
Thank you. Bravo, bravo. And I think that we should all, let me fix this here right now. I think we all need to really turn to our higher powers, right? Everybody is different and we all practice different religions, but definitely I really appreciate so much faith. And I think that when we think that everything is done, that is where we start, right? It starts with our inner core and our higher power. So thank you so much for bringing that to our attention and to sharing that with us today. Our next speaker is 𝙂𝙪𝙚. I think you're there. I see your camera open.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome. The podium is all yours.
Thank you. So greetings to everyone. I'm really honored to be with you on this special day. So happy International Education Day to every one of us. I will share my screen. Okay. I hope it's invisible.
It's visible.
So,
It's visible.
thank you. So the education is a source of well-being. Every countries that invest in education and in young people are the countries of the progress. This day should be a reminder of the role of the teachers and education for every country. Education is the foundation of any successful society. The impact of education on the development of successful countries is the best seen, for example, of Scandinavian countries, but we can all be like them. So if each of us is a part of the process, the need of invest in individual in also invest in society as a whole. We are unfortunately witnessing of the moments in the world when it is not possible to organize quality education. Wars, earthquakes, floods are just some of events that prevent us from quality education. I think I work for the most beautiful job. So in my work as a teacher with my students, I put my students and their quality of education at the first. And in the end of my speech, very short speech, but I want to say the words of Michelle Obama. So the ability to read, write, and analyze, the confidence to stand up and demand justice and equality, the qualifications and connections to get your foot in the door and take your seat at the table. All of that starts with education. So education is so important things in every country of the world, and it is for every one of us. So thank you for this opportunity to be with us, and my short speech is over. Thank you.
Wonderful, Zelika. Thank you so much. Thank you. Always great prepared, always great words, great educationist. And she's European. She's her country is near a country in my in my heart, near to mine. We are sisters.
Yes, thank you, Armenia. Romania is in my heart too. I like Romania.
Vala, thank you.
So now, and thank you so much. Now it's Samai. Please join us.
Yeah, I'm here.
Saima, there you go. Okay, beautiful. The podium is yours.
Okay. Hello to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I wish all of you will be fine and have a beautiful and a great time. First of all, I would like to say that happy education to all educators and all educated people who love education, who want education, who learn education, and who want to learn education. I want to start my speech by the question that what is education? Education is the act or process of imparting or acquiring general knowledge, developing the powers of reasoning and judgment, and generally of preparing ourselves and others intellectually for mature life. And also we can say that education is a process or the act of imparting or acquiring particular knowledge and skills. In addition, education is a systematic process. Education is the development of individuals and society. It's called a force for social development that brings improvement in every aspect of society. Right now, I want to talk about the history of education in Afghanistan. At the first, many years ago in Afghanistan, people learn education traditionally. They went to mosque and in order to learn education, and also they read religious book. They have studied religious book. But during the times, it improves and it becomes somehow formal. Our first formal school by the name of Habibia High School was established in 1282. And during the time, it improved a lot. And right now, we have many governmental schools and many private schools. There are about 18,000 schools in Afghanistan right now. Under the rule of Amanullah, our first constitution, the first constitution of Afghanistan was approved, and by adopting this constitution, learning education became compulsory for all the children and youth in different parts of Afghanistan. But when the Taliban came, they destroyed everything. The belief that girls cannot go to school, girls cannot learn education was somehow removing from the mind of people. But when they came back in Afghanistan, they somehow improved this thing in the mind of people. But they think that they can increase this belief in the mind of people, but I'm sure that they cannot stop us. Maybe they can limit us for going to school, but never they cannot limit us from learning. Thank you for your nice attention. This was my speech.
Thank you so much. Wow. We would really like to know so much. I mean, we have very little time, but thank you for coming over and really being courageous and telling us what's going on. And I think that we all want to really encourage education no matter where. And we're definitely there with you. So thank you so much, Saima. Thank you for being here today. Okay, so now I have Dr. 𝙂𝙪 𝙎𝙤 from India.
Thank you. This is Professor
You're
Dr.
welcome.
𝙭𝙠 𝙎𝙤 from Chhattisgarh, India. I am assistant professor in computer science since 32 years and also Global Peace Ambassador. Today the topic is International Day of Education. As Dalai Lama said, when educating the minds of your youth, you must not forget to educate their hearts. Article 26 of the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights establishes education as a human right. Everyone has a right to free and compulsory elementary education. The United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child further address education. It requires states to encourage secondary, general, and vocational education, which is essential for the development of children. In the words of Malala Yousafzai, the content of a book holds the power of education, and it is with this power that we can shape our future and change lives. In short, I want to share the objectives of the International Day of Education in points: sustainable development goals, human rights, eradicate poverty, promote inclusivity and equity in education, foster global citizenship and peace, support lifelong learning opportunities, and enhance quality of education. As Aristotle said, education is an ornament in prosperity and a refuge in adversity. Now, I want to reach and conclude. Education is a human right and it plays a remarkable role in one's life. It is great means to solve crucial world problems, including poverty, financial development, innovation, and well-being. If we are to transform lives and make this world a happy place, we will need education. We need education to bring peace and equality. We need it to improve health infrastructure. We need quality education to fight against hate speech and intolerance, to speak against corruption and cultivate global citizenship. They look forward to less hunger and more prosperity. When more people receive education, issues like terrorism, racism, child abuse, discrimination, interreligious disputes, and climate crisis are looked upon by fresh eyes and taken up as the problem of one. Empowering education leaders to be change makers in their communities is at the core of our approach. Though education, peace is encouraged and more people participate in sustainable development. Education is not only a human right, it is a public good and a social responsibility. And I close my speech with the quoted word of 𝙂𝙪 Obama. The ability to read, write, and analyze, the confidence to stand up and demand justice and equality, the qualification and connection to get our foot in the door and take your seat at the table. All of that starts with education. Happy International Education Day to all of you. Thank you, ma'am. Greetings from India.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. That was amazing. And thank you for reading and really reminding us why we celebrate this amazing day, or we commemorate it, because we know that there's so many people that still don't have access to education. But those that do, let's celebrate the teachers that take the time. I would like to now call Buba Demba from Gambia. I think you're here. So hopefully you will be able to join us now. Bumba? It was right here. Okay. So now I will go with Maka 𝙂𝙪𝙚. Okay. I hope I got your last name right. Please join us.
Hello, hello from Georgia. I am very happy to be with you. Happy International Education Day to all. And I want to speak about learning for peace must be transformative and help students develop the necessary knowledge and values. January 24 is an International Education Day. Wishing you all a happy Education Day. May education bring light to your life. And this year's message is education for lasting peace. This date is celebrating for the 7th time this year. According to UNESCO, education and teachers have a crucial role in the fight against hate speech. The world is witnessing an upsurge in violent conflicts, which is accompanied by an alarming increase in discrimination, racism, xenophobia, and hate speech. And the impact of this violence spread any boundaries based on geography, gender, religion, race, politics, and others. And an active commitment to peace is more relevant today than ever. Education is central to this endeavor, as highlighted in the UNESCO recommendation on education for peace, human rights, and sustainable development. Learning for peace should not be transformative and help students develop the necessary knowledge, values, and skills and behavior to become agents of peace in the commitments. And we all know that that tool has the strength and ability to change this world for the better is education. And let's together change the world with education. Thank you very much for your kind listening. Good luck to all. Hatia, thanks for this important invitation for me. Happy International Education Day to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, dear
much.
Maka. That was wonderful. Thank you so much, Maka from Georgia. Thank you. I think peace is the recurring theme, right? And I think there's an urgency call here. And definitely we know that it's in our educators' hands, because you are the ones who open up the mind and the brain for all of our students. I'm going to call Professor Dr. Maureen Mia.
Thank you so much, my dear Sister
Welcome.
Virginia. Lovely. Thank you very much. I greet everyone in the universal greeting of peace with blessings. Lovely to see Armenia as well. Thank you so much to both of you for this and for hosting. Love to you all. So I greet everyone again with peace, with blessings, with lots of love. And thank you to all the speakers who are here today, obviously offering peace to us all, where we all learn from each other, but also offering peace to everybody else as an offer of hope. And I think in any aspect of everyone's life right now, no matter where you are, what your age is, where you are in the world, everyone somehow has this yearning for peace. We want an end to everything that is negative in this world. We want an end to everything that is bringing us pain and heartache, etc. We want peace. And I'm saying if today's about this International Day of Education, and it's dedicated to educating about peace. And it's saying that teachers have to do this. I'm saying, yes, it will be teachers, but it has to be every single one of us to first teach that in ourselves, within ourselves. Let us be peace within ourselves first. Let us then take peace to our family and in our home. And let us then take that peace as a teaching to our community. When we inculcate peace as part of who you are, peace within you, peace around you, then peace becomes a kind of a norm. And that's what we all soulfully actually need. When we talk of education, we talk about teaching. Teaching is not just about classroom-based teaching or me giving you a report card. Teaching is about life. How do I educate a child for life? How am I educating myself for life? I need to be able to be peace, lead peace by example to myself, to my family, then to my community. And when we get it right there, then we can inculcate that peace throughout the world. So today I'd like to say to every educator in this world, thank you so much for your dedication to building and educating humanity at large, because that's what all of us educators do. Our passion is not just to build report cards on kids. Our passion is to build humankind. And part of teaching that is to teach the peace mindset, the peace heart, and the peace of unity across the globe. And with that, I'd like to say thank you again for having me. It's been such an honor to give my little bit. And thank you to everyone as well. God bless you all, and may we all strive to get this peace right for us all. Thank you so much.
As usual, you always impact us with your amazing and clear, succinct words. I think that definitely we have to get above and beyond grades and really do what education is meant to do, to inspire and expand and help us all grow. So thank you so much, Professor Maria. Okay, so I would like to call Leoncio Calderon. Sir,
Good
there we
evening,
go.
Dr.
Welcome so much.
Yeah, good evening. It's almost good morning here. Dr. Virginia, Dr. Ermina. Competition, aggression, and conflict are all present in today's educational establishments, from exam testing, teacher victimization, playground and online bullying, to creating opposing group identities in multicultural societies. Beyond the confines of education, structural violence is present in the workplace through competitive aggression, celebrity spots on social media, and aggressive behavior in sports and politics. This culture of violence has shifted the human experience from seeking fulfillment to coping with mental trauma of living. Peace education is critical in shifting the conflict-inducing world we function in today. The relationship between peace and education has been long established, with many variations of this form occurring. One of the most referred to is peace education as promoting stability in regions of conflict by UNESCO. There has been an underlying assumption, therefore, that countries that are not engaged in warfare on the home front do not need peace education. Yet, peace cannot simply be an absence of war. Educational institutions, especially schools, have a role in equipping young people with values and dispositions to strive for a more peaceful world. In this context, peace education encapsulates values of peace such as open-mindedness, intercultural understanding, and respect for human rights. Global citizenship and moral education in this context will be disclosed as methods of promoting these values of peace beyond the knowledge-based peace education in conflict areas. The current political climate demonstrates people's frustration in the changing relationship between the people and government in an unstable, ever-changing globalized world. Peace education has never been more critical. United Nations Refugee Agency estimated that the world hosted 35.3 million refugees, including 6.3 million Syrians, 5.9 million Palestinian refugees. This shows the changing fabric of many societies in becoming multicultural and diverse. This emphasizes the need to build cohesive societies, showing the need for people to connect, demonstrate empathy, and build supported communities within this context. We seek to address the gap between traditional theories of peace education and current educational system in a globalized world. The focus will be on current educational issues before suggesting strategies to aim towards a more peace-oriented education in the Philippines and beyond. Solutions are developed and should be continually developed through field research and case studies. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you so much. And you brought a very important point. I think that we think about war and we talk about peace in the outside, and we forget that many times there's violence in the school. Many times, and violence is not just pushing and throwing. It's the way we speak, it's the way we act, it's the way we don't respect. I think if we want to lead by example, we need to make sure that we're also taking care of the environment, right, in our schools. So thank you so much for bringing it up, because that's a very, very key point, and I would love to address that in a future session. Thank you so much for your information. It was wonderful.
Professor Virginia, can my wife also
Yes.
speak right after me? Thank you.
Okay, who is your wife?
Dr.
Who's your
Rizalina.
wife?
Dr. Rizalina.
Hi, hello.
Okay, please do. Go ahead. Yes, thank
a
you
big
for
hug,
introducing her. Thank you for introducing her. Go ahead.
a big hug to you, Doc
Thank
Virginia
you.
and Doc Ermina. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, co-educators. I am Risa Calderon from the Philippines. Mabuhay. Education opens doors. There's no doubt that education for peace leads to career enhancement, employment opportunities, and chances of higher earnings. Education, especially when it's combined with technical training, has been proven to boost life chances, increase opportunities, and reduce poverty. This is one driving force behind education for peace. With the education comes knowledge, power, safety, security, and of course, peace. One study by UNESCO found that income around the world would be 23% higher per capita in countries with education for all. If poverty were reduced, violence would follow suit. Do you believe that education promotes independent thinking? Yeah. Education encourages independent thinking, and it opens doors to new ideas. Independent thinkers tend to try to make sense of the world and draw their own conclusions instead of blindly following the belief of others. Independent thinkers may be less likely to join militant groups or be followers, and maybe instead be leaders towards positive change and action. Education inspires problem-solving skills, along with math skills that are learned in classroom. Students are often challenged to use logical thinking in order to analyze different pieces of literature. The significance of historical events and scientific findings. Coupled with independent thinking, these critical thinking skills can lead to innovative solutions and alternative to violence. There are 5 ways on how young people can play greater role in peace building. First, we have to support youth visions of peace. Even when they have not known life without conflict, young people have clear visions of what peace should be and have a strong desire for a future without violence. Peace processes need to ensure meaningful inclusion of these views in their design and implementation. Second, create for youth to engage in political processes. Many youth feel excluded from political processes and from making meaningful contributions. It is crucial that governments make sustained commitments to rebuild the young people's trust and confidence in governments. There are also additional challenges facing women and girls in gaining access to public spaces, which need to be addressed. Third, facilitate and support dignified livelihoods. Greater economic opportunities for youth are necessary to motivate young people to pursue peaceful and productive paths in their lives. Youth are keen to increase their opportunities to learn skills and develop entrepreneurial capacity, but this needs to be made available to them. The main concern of both young and older generations is to ensure daily well-being. That is to find a job, get an education. Only after these problems are resolved will it be possible to increase the youth interest in resolving world conflicts on a global scale. Fourth, support education and capacity building for peace. Access to education is fundamental for facilitating young people's positive engagement in peace. Youth suggested specific practical ways, and this could be realized, including reforms to civic education and to the introduction of peace education. The only thing that can ensure us a better future is education. Without education, the country will not have a future. Fifth, facilitate inter-community dialogue and exchanges. Distrust, stereotypes, and prejudices can be tackled by initiatives such as exchanges, which encourage continuous dialogue and engagement between youth from different communities. It is particularly important that young people who have been directly victimized by conflict and failing of the education system are involved. So thank you once again, fellow peacemakers. Peace and lifelong learning be with us all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rosalina. And definitely the Calderons are going to be part of my World Education Policy team. You are absolutely right. There's so much that we can do if we involve our youth and we really give them the capacity to be independent thinkers, right? And really put their 2 cents in where we want to see them and how they want to see the world. So thank you. I'll be calling both of you. Thank you again for being here with us.
I love how you say the Calderons. They are such a great couple.
The Calderons are a team. They're a great team. Thank you.
Just
Yes,
like you,
love
Doc
it.
Alina and Doc Virginia, just like
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Now
much.
we want to call Manal Ramadan Sharaf. Manal, are you there? I see. There we go. Go ahead, dear. We can't hear you. We can see your presentation, but we can't hear you.
Okay, now you can hear me?
Now we can. Yes. Welcome.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, esteemed colleagues. Hello, honored guests. Dr. Virginia, thank you so much for hosting this event. Thank you for the opportunity to address you on this Education Day, a day that reminds us of the transformative power of education that holds for individuals and societies many change. As we gather on this International Day of Education, it's imperative to reflect on the global educational situation, particularly in the wake of the recorded challenges posed to education worldwide by the end or after COVID-19 pandemic. Before the pandemic, according to UNESCO reports in 2023, before the pandemic, Approximately 258 million children and adolescents were out of school. Startlingly, the pandemic exacerbated this situation, disrupting the education of an estimated 1.6 billion learners worldwide at its peak. The disruptive situation actually is affecting education all over the globe, and the digital divide became glaring, with around half of the world's population lacking internet access, hindering remote learning opportunities. In the aftermath of this global crisis, our focus should be clear and strategic to address the following 7 goals. Actually, these goals are first, that we need to address the learning gap, because we as educators, we are all witnessing that education before the pandemic is not like education after the pandemic. So addressing the learning gap is paramount. UNESCO estimates that learners on average have lost nearly a third of their standard expected annual progress. Bridging this gap requires targeted interventions, personalized learning strategies, and increased support for students who face the brunt of disrupted education. What matters now in education is equipping our learners with not just knowledge, but the skills to empower an ever-changing domain. Extending cognitive skills like critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity should be supported to prepare students for the challenges that lie ahead. Secondly, inclusivity should be a pivotal component in today's learning processes. So we as educators, we need to adopt inclusive learning. Education is a universal right, and it's our collective responsibility to ensure that every child, regardless of their background or circumstances, has access to quality education. By doing so, we not only unlock individual potential, but also contribute to a more equitable and harmonious global community. Thirdly, my colleagues, innovation in education technology is crucial. We should invest in scalable and accessible digital solutions to narrow this digital divide. According to UNICEF, again, 31% of students worldwide could not be reached during school closures due to a lack of remote learning tools. Closing this gap will ensure that all students have equitable access to education. So, let's prioritize teacher training in a way that today's educators can swiftly adapt to the effective employment of digital platforms in their educational contexts. Investing in teacher professional development ensures they are equipped to pilot the evolving landscape of education, both in person and online. As well, mental health and well-being need to be at the forefront of our educational agenda. The pandemic took a toll on the psychological and emotional health of students and educators alike. Support systems and resources for mental health should be integrated into the educational framework. So, beyond academic excellence, we should emphasize the importance of emotional intelligence and empathy. Education is not solely about acquiring knowledge. It's about developing well-rounded individuals who can navigate life with compassion and resilience. Cultivating emotional intelligence ensures that our learners are not just successful in their careers, but are also empathetic global citizens. On top also, and as we talk about developing global citizens, and as stewards of this planet, we should instill a deep sense of environmental responsibility in our learners. Education should inspire a generation that is not only conscious of the ecological challenges we face, but is also driven to find innovative solutions for a sustainable future. Lastly, we should commit to rebuilding stronger, more resilient educational systems. This involves international collaboration, increased funding for education, and a steadfast commitment to the Sustainable Development Goal for quality education. So the statistics paint an explicit picture of the challenges education is facing nowadays worldwide. To move forward, we need to focus on bridging the learning gap, adopting the full concept of inclusive learning, empowering educators, leveraging technology, prioritizing mental health, instilling environmental responsibility, and building resilient education systems. Together, we can ensure that education not only recovers from the setbacks and emerges stronger, but emerges stronger and more inclusive than ever. Thank you. Thank you for everyone, and happy Education Day to all of us around the globe.
Thank you so much, Manal, for such a complete presentation. If you could stop sharing your deck. I just have to say, you mentioned something that's very, very important, is about the mental health. You know, mental health not only of the teachers, but also mental health of our students. I think that sometimes we forget, maybe there's a stigma attached. Mental health is just health, right? And many times there's so much stress and there's so much preoccupation when it comes from our teachers. And then our students, we put so much on them, telling them the competition is so key, that they have to be number one, that we forget that there are also little machines that are working, and sometimes it's not working well. So really talking about mental health and really expanding on that in the future is really important. I loved all the points that you brought. Making resilient educational programs is also important. I mean, we have countries that go through climate change disasters. We have our violence disaster. You know, there's so many things that are happening. How are we really empowering these teachers to continue education when they're going through all this? So thank you again for bringing that to our attention. It was wonderful. Thank you. I would like to invite now Batul Zriek. I hope I have your name correctly. Batul, welcome. The virtual podium is yours, and then Dr. Anita will be next.
Hello,
Welcome.
Dr. Virginia. Good evening
How
for
are you?
all of you. Morning. I'm fine so much. I miss you. And what an outfit today. You look amazing, actually. Dr. Ermi, all the speakers, esteemed speakers of this international conference, it's my honor to address you today as a dedicated educator with over 2 decades of experience. Through these years, I discovered that this mission, the mission of teaching, extends beyond textbooks. And we are architects of minds, nurturing the potential within each student. It's the 2nd year to celebrate this occasion with you, and I'm so lucky to be here. Today, actually, I want to address the leaders of the world, because I know that this is a global platform, and I know that my voice will be raised here. Unfortunately, children are not getting their same opportunity to get their right of quality education due to many reasons nowadays, like war, economic issues, the pandemics, the natural disasters that happened around the world. So I wish now all the world leaders to help those children having equal access of quality education as universal right, regardless of backgrounds. Every individual should have the opportunity to embrace the transformative power of learning. So leaders, parents, teachers, communities, organizations even should all renew their dedication to foster a passion for knowledge. Our classrooms should be more than spaces for instructions. They should be incubators for innovations and curiosity and character developments. My colleague before talks about mental health and well-being, and you also focused on this point, which really our students and children need more than even reading in textbooks and even having passages to read or even use around the world. We have to focus on their mental health to be able to receive any point or any idea or any topic we have to give them. So students should not be only learners, they should be also future leaders and thinkers and problem solvers. They should be critical thinkers, actually. So I wish the word leaders can help, because teachers alone one hand can't clap. The communities, organizations, leaders should also help. So this is my message today, and I have to thank you again. I don't want to take much of your time. I know that you got all tired, but we are really excited in this International Day of Education. Happy International Day for all of you. Love you all. Take care.
Thank you so much, Matula. I love your enthusiasm, but most importantly, your call to action. Right? It's really urgent to all the government officials, but it's us. We have to go out there and ask them. You know, many times we think that it's in somebody else's hands and we don't realize that it is in our hands, that we need to take action and we need to be those leaders, because we're waiting for somebody else to do it. It's us. We have to do it. Thank you so much. Thank you. Dr. Anita, welcome from the US. I'm so excited to have you here.
Greetings. Yes. Happy
very
International Education Day.
Yeah.
So wonderful to be here today. Thank you all for having me on this platform. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm honored. I'm deeply honored to be here today to celebrate and acknowledge the need for U.S. higher educators. One thing that we have been talking about is how we are affecting our children, but those children grow up and they become adults who are affecting our world. And so as a higher education and as a nursing professor, today I want to address a little bit about healthcare and nursing. As you all know, we are facing unprecedented challenges in our healthcare system, such as the COVID-19 pandemic, which many of my colleagues have mentioned even today. We face an aging population. We face a shortage of nurses and other healthcare professionals, and the rising cost of care. And so these challenges require some innovative solutions. We require some evidence-based practices and continuous learning. Someone mentioned lifelong learning earlier, and that's where we all come in. The Sustainable Development Goal number 4 from United Nations is all about education. And I get to empower students in the United States, in Ghana, and in Kenya through my organization, the 𝙂𝙪 Foundation. We are the ones, all of us, to help prepare the next generation of healthcare leaders. We get to be the ones who inspire them to pursue excellence, compassion, and service to mankind. We are the ones who advance the science and the art of nursing and in healthcare, who generate knowledge and translate that knowledge into actual practice. We are the ones who get to shape the future of healthcare through our students. We get to advocate for quality, safety, equity. We are the ones who get to make a difference in the lives of millions of children and adults every day, because really we are all learners, and all of us who teach are students. So we are the ones who often as teachers face many obstacles, many difficulties in our work, like heavy workloads, limited resources and changing policies, and high expectations. We have to balance our teaching, our research, our service, and our leadership roles while maintaining your own well-being, mental health, and professional development. So we have to adapt to some new technologies. We have to adapt to some new pedagogies and curricula while preserving the core values and the traditions of our discipline. We have to deal with stress many times. We're dealing with burnout and uncertainty, but we have to stay positive. We have to stay motivated for ourselves and for our students, because some of them are going to grow up to become the teachers. That is why we're here to celebrate. That is why we're here to acknowledge every educator and to thank you for your dedication, compassion, and contribution to education. We want to recognize the achievements, challenges, and aspirations of every educator and every student. and to support everyone in their ongoing learning and growth. I am here today to remind you that you are not alone, that you are part of a beautiful community of colleagues and friends who share your same vision, who share your same mission. We are educators, and some of us, like myself, are higher educators, those who are working in college and in healthcare and in nursing. All of us are essential. All of us are valuable and appreciated. So I want to tell each and every one of you, you're making a difference in the world. Thank you for everything that you do. Thank you so much to Virginia Rivera and to the university for having me here today. God bless you all. Happy International Education Day.
Thank you, Dr. Anita. Wow, that was so powerful. And you're absolutely right. You know, let's really congratulate every educator, no matter what they're educating. It's not only in elementary. We have so many teachers, and we also have coaches and mentors that really do that job also. But most importantly, those that said, I want to be a teacher. We know it's not easy, but they get it done every single day. So thank you again. And thank you, Dr. Anita, for reminding us of this amazing work. Thank you. And you know what? Without teachers, none of us would be doing what we do. You know, it starts with them. So definitely, thank you so much. So now I want to call to the podium Eliko Akovia. Eliko, join us, please. I think you're there. Eliko, are you there? Well, I think I see her, but probably.
Yes,
Oh, there we
I'm
go.
here.
Yes. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Happy International Day. And now I tell you about International Education Day. International Education Day, celebrated annually on January 24th, holds paramount importance in the global context. This day serves as a reminder of the pivotal role education plays in promoting peace, tolerance, and international cooperation. As the world becomes increasingly interconnected, fostering a culture of global understanding through education is imperative for addressing global challenges and creating a more harmonious world. The United Nations proclaimed January 24th as International Education Day in 2018 to underscore the significance of education in achieving sustainable development goals. This recognition reflects a shared commitment among nations to prioritize and invest in education as a means to build inclusive, resilient, and sustainable societies. One of the key objectives of International Education Days is to advocate for accessible and quality education for all. Unfortunately, millions of individuals around the world still lack access to basic education. By addressing barriers such as gender inequality, socioeconomic disparities, and cultural challenges, countries can work towards ensuring that every individual, regardless of background, has the opportunity to receive quality education. International Education Day also highlights the role of education in fostering cultural exchange and mutual understanding. Exposures to these perspectives and experiences through international education programs can break down stereotypes, reduce prejudice, and build bridges between different cultures. In an era marked by globalization, cultivating a sense of global citizenship is essential for creating a world that values diversity and celebrates common humanity. Education is not merely about securing knowledge. It is about shaping individuals into responsible global citizens. International Education Day emphasizes the need for educational system to go beneath academic curriculum and instill values such as empathy, tolerance, and respect for different cultures. By nurturing these qualities, educational institutions contribute to the development of individuals who are equipped to address global challenges collaboratively. The challenges facing the world today, from climate change to pandemics, require collaborative solution. International Education Day underscores the role of education in equipping individuals with the skills and knowledge needed to tackle these challenges collectively. By fostering a global perspective, education becomes a powerful tool for promoting sustainable development and addressing pressing issues that transcend national borders. And in conclusion, International Education Day serves as a call to action for governments, educators, and individuals worldwide to prioritize and invest in education. By recognizing the transformative power of education in fostering global understanding, cooperation, and sustainable development, the world can move closer to creating a future where education is not just a right, but a force that unites us in our shared journey towards a better world. As we celebrate International Education Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to building a world where education is a beacon of hope, opportunity, and unity. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Eliko. And I totally agree. International cooperation, it's a thing. It's actually something that we do. We all need to do that in order to continue to grow. This is what we do today, thanks to James International School, what we do at IIU. It's exactly that. It's bringing everybody together, because together we can definitely change what we're seeing now, and we can make it even better. So thank you so much, Eliko, for your really poignant presentation.
Thanks,
I would like
Alex.
to invite now, thank you, my dear. I would like to invite Fatima. Fatima, please, from Afghanistan. Fatima Rahimi, welcome. The virtual podium is yours.
Hello. Yes, I'm here.
Hello.
Can
Very
you hear
good.
me?
We hear you. Yes, we do. Perfectly. You're ready.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hello to everyone.
Yes.
I hope all of you be fine and be happy. I am Fatma Rahmi, one of the students of Kayan Private High School from Afghanistan. And now I'm very glad that I'm here and I can speak with you about education. And also I want to say Happy Education Day to all of you. And I want to speak about education system in Afghanistan. At the first, it's better to know what is education. Education is about learning skill and knowledge. It also means helping people to learn how to do things and support them to think about what they learn. And also important for educators to teach ways to find and use information. Education needs research to find out how to make it better. I think it's time to talk about education system in Afghanistan. The education system in Afghanistan has faced many problems as a result of fight and changes in the countries. The state of education in Afghanistan has significant worsened since the Taliban take over in 2021. And I want to talk about two important facts about the state of education in Afghanistan. First, the impact of Taliban takeover. The takeover of Taliban in 2021 has reversed much of the country, progress in regard to education. Since March 2023, the Taliban has banned 1 million girls from attending high school. And second, the impact of poverty. Almost 15% of families live below the poverty line in Afghanistan in 2020. Due to a condition of poverty, many children are faced into working at the young age to poverty income instead of attending in high school. In conclusion, I want to say that before the takeover, Afghanistan have good situation, and the girls can go to school, and girls and boys taught for their country with each other, and now unfortunately the girls can go to school. It was my presentation. Thanks for nice attention.
Thank you so much, Fatima. I'm really, really happy that you stayed and you waited for your turn, because it takes a lot of courage to really talk about what is going on and right in our countries and how we can all be part of the solution. So thank you for sharing that with us. We definitely are trying our best to help and make sure that Afghanistan, everywhere in the world, people can actually have access to education. So thank you again for your courageous words. Thank you. I would like to call now, and she's so young and so courageous. So thank you.
Thank you.
We admire you deeply. Thank you. Dr. Vijay, please, if you are here, open your camera and join us. Dr. Vijay Kumar. Are you here with us?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, welcome. The virtual podium is yours.
Yes. Hello, good evening, good afternoon, and good morning to all of you. With respect to international standard, I welcome all of you and a great platform, and congratulations to all of you as an International Day of Education. IIU International Internship University is making a great effort for the education, and all the, we can say, the Virginia and Armenia and all these have a great efforts on the world's development for the education and how we can improve the systems. So we should, on this occasion, I would like to tell you that the education system is only developed by if we all, just like we can say the women's, we can say the steps toward the education is very much, and it must be very much highly appreciable, and it should be highly appreciated, because everything is now, we can say, is spoken by every speakers, well, good, but I want to focus on that, the family and we can say all the children's and women's, the education is totally depend on them, because the men's can be developed by outer area. The men's, we can say the males are always, we can say, in with the societies and all professional nature. But the women's, most of the women's are now in home, and most of the children's are now, they are getting the, we can say, love, affections, and surroundings by the women's, because of the mother. So education is totally depend on, we can say, our family structure and the social behavior. So whatever the skill development, whatever we can, the sustainability, whatever we are saying that we should adopt the different aspects, different methods. But the main thing is the humanitarian nature. The humanitarian nature, we have to apply the educational, whatever the technical education, whatever we have the different arts, commerce, science, pharmacy, medicine, whatever, it totally depends how to apply. It should not be just for a professionalism to make a money. That money can be made by any method. Education, if one person is not educated, they are also making any money. They are also making a good efforts and the materialistic whatever they want. But the main focus of the education is to develop the humanity, to develop the people, to develop the person, and what we are. As we are the human being, so we should behave like human. And you know, if human behave like just a human, then they will get a position of God. So God is only, who is God? The God is only the good man, the best man, the man who has the all qualities and a good, all characteristics of a good man. So if education, the aim of the education should be such that we have to develop the universe, we have to develop the world in such a way that they have to inspire the other, and inspirations in case of all whatever we want in our life, you know, human rights and all these things. So education totally, you know, the education is the power, education is our duty, and education is the right to get whatever the knowledge in the world. So that's why the United Nations and we have all the government is focusing on that the education should be free of cost. So not taking so much time, and I emphasize on that, the education can only be developed by if we give the freeness, we give the freeness to the women, we give freeness to the children, and whatever the system we have adopted at present, that should be in such a way that should make a human in a good human. Then we will achieve the targets and mission and vision of our education system. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, and thank you for all your efforts.
Thank you so much. And saying it in such easy words to understand, that we need freedom. Women need freedom to really live to their fullest potential. Our children need the freedom to really, and the opportunity to really go to school to live to their fullest potential. So thank you again. You're absolutely right. All these civil organizations are there to tell us and remind us that education is the key, but we need to make sure that we are all also helping so that everybody has access to education. So again, I think the call to action is we need to make sure that those 280 million people that are usually children that don't have access finally. And the UNESCO can definitely help us with that. So thank you. I would like to call now Nana, and I don't want to, Nana 𝙂𝙪𝙚. Nana, I hope that I did not say a big, crazy word. Welcome, Nana. The podium is yours.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
How are you?
Good evening.
Welcome.
Good afternoon. Education. I will ask you with great love and respect. I am glad to see you, Dr. Virginia Rivera, Dr. Anju Savarval, Dr. Armenia Raesko. I fondly remember the time I spent with two at international school, James. I love you.
Yes, we love you. We love you.
The quality education.
Exactly, we love you.
Yes, thank you. Quality education. I am Nana 𝙂𝙪𝙚. I am geography teacher from Georgia. What is education? The answers to this question seems simple and understandable to everyone. Education is a social science that studies and promotes the development of humans' physical, intellectual, and moral skills. Quality education is a necessary prerequisite for sustainable development. Current more than 265 million children do not receive a school education, including 22% children of primary education age. The lack of quality education is due to lack of properly trained teachers, poor conditions in schools, and lack of access to education for children living in rural areas. The United Nations General Assembly announced January 24 as the International Day of Education is 28. The main purpose of celebrating this date is to raise the awareness of the world community about the importance of providing an equality education environment. The purpose of establishing International Education Day every year is to outline the role of education is a process of ensuring peace in the world and development democratic process in countries. All children should have access to quality education. Today, every parent around the world is worried about how to give their child quality education. It became clear to everyone that caring for the future is caring for education. And educated generation builds a state based on democratic principles with all its structure. High quality education is a solution to many problems that many countries of the world are facing today. Our task is to facilitate access to quality education equally for all our citizens. Education is a movement from darkness to light. Alan Bloom. Education is the key that opens the golden door of freedom. George Washington. Education is the most powerful tool you can use to change the world. Nelson Mandela. Education is a great treasure. Thank you very much for your attention. I love you.
We love you. Thank you. Thank you so much. We love having people that have seen our school and that see the progress and that contribute all the time. So thank you for being with us today. Thank you, Dana. And I hope that I got your last name correctly because I try, but you know, it's a little hard for me. Let me go ahead and call. And no, thank you, my dear. So very clear. So very clear. Sarah Samuels, are you here with us? Sarah?
Yes. Good morning.
Welcome.
And good afternoon.
Welcome.
Evening.
Welcome.
Nice seeing you. Like as we celebrate our International Education Day, I want to appreciate the James International School for this privilege, and that I'm grateful. Speaking on this international education, let me recognize the transformative power of learning for lasting peace. The diversity through quality education. We need to cultivate the seed of harmony and resilience, nurturing the mind and heart of future generation. Let's join hands in promoting inclusive and educative breaking barriers and building bridges for the world at large. Now, when we talk about lasting peace, what do we mean by lasting peace? Lasting peace is a crucial foundation for societal harmony. Education empowers individuals to understand and respect diverse perspectives, fostering empathy and cooperation by promoting critical thinking and global awareness. Learning cultivates a culture of understanding and acceptance, paving the way for sustainable peace. Now, when we talk about sustainable peace and lasting peace, now we should recognize that education is a sacrifice. If you are not, if you don't have the zeal, if you don't have the empathy to sacrifice, you will not be able to pass the holistic knowledge to the next generation. So I can say today that education is a sacrifice, because being even on, example of being even online till now is a sacrifice, because I want my voice to be heard in the education society. So education is sacrifice. We must be able to pass the knowledge holistically to the next generation, not hiding, because we've all acquired different knowledge, but passing it the right way is a problem. Because these children will keep bombing them with so many knowledge without making them reasoning, without considering their mental health, without considering other aspects. Education is very wide. When we talk about their health, how do they pay attention to their health? Today we are celebrating the girl child. Education starts even with the little child beside us. We need to pass the knowledge. We need to pass holistically, and we need to educate our girl child very well before they get to the adulthood. When you talk about their hygiene, their relationship at large. So it's very, very, very important. And I want to thank everyone and all the educators. And I said a happy education. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Wow. That was too bad we couldn't see you. But so powerful, your message. And definitely we need to concentrate on so many other things more than memorizing and getting good grades. We really need to make sure that we are attending all the aspects of the student, not only when they go to school, but the rest of their life. So thank you. Thank you again. I want to now call, and I the reason why it's because I don't see your cameras on, but academician, Professor Chap. Professor Chap?
He's our Professor Charles.
I was spoken earlier.
If
you want me
okay,
to speak
Professor
again,
Charles.
I can as well speak
Okay.
again.
Okay, so I think we have had everybody. Is there anybody that I have not called?
What about Joy? I'm seeing Joy there. Joy is there. Joy.
Okay, Joel. Okay,
And I don't
Joel
know
Olaniyan.
Esteban also.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, if you can turn your camera, usually I do it with the camera on, but Joel? Joe?
He's also a member of our Corps Foreign Affairs.
No. Yes. But I don't see his camera on. And Ketavan Darshitsi. They've been with us for the entire time, but I don't see their cameras on.
Yes.
Okay.
Ketavan,
So I
Joel?
think that it's been an incredible journey. We've had so many wonderful speakers. I have to say that I always feel so privileged to be here and to really, I'm an education advocate. I have been really advocating for education probably for the last 20 years, and I truly believe that we all deserve to have access to quality education. What we can do when we have the tools, what we can do, because the power is within, is just releasing and unleashing the power once we learn. So these conferences are so important. And what James International School does every day is so important. I have to say, and I want to congratulate Mr. 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪 for not only having the dream, but actually putting action behind the dream. How many of us have dreams every day? But if we don't put the action behind the dream, nothing happens. And then there are people like Ermina, like Dr. Anjusa Rawal, that are there to really blow, right? And make these dreams come true. I want Ermina to give us our vote of thanks and to finish this incredible conference that has been just amazing with so many speakers. And you know, one of the things that I like the most is the truth. We're global citizens. We're all global teachers. And I hope that one day we realize that it doesn't matter what country we come from. Our responsibility will continue to be, no matter where we're from, to bring education to the forefront. So as global citizens and global teachers, I congratulate you on this amazing day, because a day of education without teachers is just not a day of education. So thank you all for being here with us. Ermina?
Yes. I want, first of all, to say a warm and graceful thank you to all our most valued guests of honor for today. Our founder, 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪, my dear Virginia, who was a wonderful host, like always. She's a rocking star, and she has a big place in Team GIS and in my heart. To our core team GIS and everyone who is in chat live on our official GIS page. It's a privilege to give the vote of thanks and give a tribute, if I can say like this, to all of you. You are all creators of education. I love to say this. A teacher is a creator of education. A special mention I want to say to our respected founder, 𝙂𝙪 𝙤𝙪, for being the catalyst that stimulated us to do our best and standing as a pillar of strength for a global education, to spread education, we are here, we are all, we have different ways to think. Yes, we try to think out the box. This I appreciate. I love all the speeches today. The teaching profession is placed somewhere between science and the art. Someone said an architect of minds, but I think also an architect of character, an architect of souls, because if we not go there in them soul, if we not touch them soul, we'll be just robotic. Will not be the process of learning with passion. Educating starts from the models they have in front of them. And most of the time, these are the teachers. Because they spend a lot of time with us in school, and we are role models for all our students. And I repeat again, I strongly believe that being a teacher is an art. Being a teacher is a feeling. Try to feel and try to do this process of education in your way. Don't accept rigidity. Don't copy anyone. You have your way to teach. You have your way to evaluate kids, and they will love you. Thank you again. Happy International Day of Education to all of you, and thank you for your time. All my respect.
Thank you all. Bye-bye. We'll see you very soon.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Without you, we don't exist. So thank you. Thank you.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
See you in the next conference.
Yeah.